Alright, I've just arrived in JIUZHAIGOU, around a 50-minute flight from Chengdu, and now I'm going to make my way towards JIUZHAI County. When people come here, they come here to see the beautiful waterscapes, the prehistoric forests, and also the quite unique Baima Tibetan culture here. I've actually come in winter, and hopefully I'll get to see some snow, but I'm going to spend a bit of time to really get to know JIUZHAI and see it for more than just its beautiful scenery. Let's go. Honestly speaking, I've got pretty high expectations of JIUZHAIGOU. I'd already seen stunning photos of its lakes, and I've heard how they single-handedly bring in millions of visitors every year. I'm going to head straight for the entrance to the nature reserve. It's a 200 kwai taxi ride from the airport and will take roughly an hour to get there. Most of the accommodation and restaurants can be found near the reserve's entrance. As for the park's tickets, there are many different choices, so my advice is study the price list and find what's suitable for you. It's early in the morning, around 8 o'clock to be exact, and I'm excited because this is the first day that we're going to be in JIUZHAIGOU, and we're going to go see all of the lakes that I've been reading about.
好，那么现在我们乘坐的这辆车呢，是咱们九寨沟景区内的绿色环保观光巴士。
JIUZHAIGOU literally means 9 Village Valley, which funnily enough refers to the 9 Tibetan villages found here. And inside these valleys are the lakes that have made JIUZHAIGOU so famous. On your way up, you'll first pass by Shuzheng village, whose 9 chortens represent the villages here. If you have a look at the map here, there are actually 3 main valleys in JIUZHAI. One here, and one here. And also one additional one here called Jaru Valley, which we'll take a hike along later on as well. The most important things to see in JIUZHAIGOU are its lakes. They're known for their spectacular colours, and the waters here are so clear that you can even see to the bottom of a deep lake. There are over 100 of them here, and the fascinating thing is, they all get their water from the highest lake in JIUZHAIGOU, the Long Lake, which feeds them via underground seepage. Oh man, would you look at this waterfall? This is the Norulong waterfall. It lies at the meeting points of the 3 main valleys and is one of JIUZHAIGOU's biggest attractions. Its name means grand in Tibetan, and as the widest waterfall in China, it certainly deserves that description. As you can see, I'm walking very carefully. Actually, I'm sliding very carefully across this rock, because now in winter it's already frozen. And as you can see, the branches of that tree behind me are frozen as well. And if you come even later, this waterfall will have frozen into a gorgeous, thin, blue sheet of ice. Ooh. If you want to take a break from snapping photos, the only restaurant in the reserve is pretty close by. I'm not quite done yet, so I'm going to move on to the next stop, which is Mirror Lake. You can clearly see how Mirror Lake gets its name, and it's best to come here in the early morning because that's when the lake's at its most serene. You need to time your visits to see the lakes at their best. Mirror Lake is best seen before 9 AM when there's no wind, while other lakes are better in the afternoon when sunlight's at its strongest. You can choose which bus stop to get off at. Just remember to set off early, since some of the lakes are quite far away. Oh wow, this is spectacular. If you look at this lake, there's such a magnificent array of colours. I've got algae like green over there, which turns to aquamarine and cyan. And that's also the reason why this lake is called the Peacock Lake, or also the 5-flower lake as well. there's a good reason why people call JIUZHAIGOU a kind of fairyland. You only need to sit back, take a long look around you, and let yourself be mesmerized by your surroundings.
This place is just so amazingly beautiful, and now that I've got the sun's warmth on my face, I really want to close my eyes and savor this kind of tranquility. But there's just simply too much for the eyes to see, and I can't close my eyes. It's just too beautiful here.
Obviously, I wasn't the only one enjoying these gorgeous lakes.
Where are you guys from?
We are from Israel.
Israel?
Yeah.
Wow, how did you hear about this place?
Our friends. Our friends was here about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So we've heard so much about the place, we said we must come here.
So you've waited 10 years to come here?
We waited 10 years.
Jeez. How do you feel about this place?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It looks like coral. You can imagine.
It really is, yeah, it really is, yeah.
Because of the ice of some parts, you see it's ice.
Yeah. I've read that the reason that these trees look like they have coral on them is because of the limestone or the calcareous deposit in this lake, so it gives off all of these different colours.
Wow.
And gives off these kind of coral-like look as well.
This is what gave the colour here.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
In the afternoon, I head to the Shuzheng Lake Complex. They're a series of 19 ribbon lakes formed from the passage of glaciers and connected to each other via small waterfalls. But what amazes me is that you can find trees growing on the ridges of these lakes, as if a forest has grown out of the waterfalls. A walkway conveniently runs alongside the lakes, allowing you to admire it up close, or if you're feeling game, walk its entire length.
The water here in JIUZHAIGOU, it seems to have a mind of its own, and if you look at the light hit the surface, you see this incredible play of colours which creates this amazing scenery. There's a saying here that once you've come to see the waterscapes of JIUZHAIGOU, there's no need to go anywhere else, and I think honestly it really holds true.
With the evening setting in, I head back to the hotel. JIUZHAIGOU is a major tourist attraction, so you're really spoilt for choice when it comes to accommodation. You can find anything from 20 kwai hostels to world-class 5-star hotels that hold their own evening entertainment.
I feel like I'm a part of the family. Even though this is a performance, it's really engrossing. And if you come here, you really must sit here and enjoy this kind of experience. It's really not to miss. Hey, how's you doing?
Who said there's no nightlife in JIUZHAIGOU? In fact, you can find quite professional stage performances happening every night, and they're often hosted by the bigger hotels that have their own stages. A great way to have fun and sample the local ethnic culture.
I'm in paradise, but I still can't boogie.
At the expense of looking a bit silly, dancing with the Tibetan performers is a great way to get an authentic taste of their lifestyle.
Sleeping mats. My tent here, and my sleeping bag and packets of instant noodles in the middle, which makes a bit of a heavy combination, but it's definitely going to be worth it. I'm here with my friend Jay today, who is going to be my guide, and he's also an expert ecologist, and he's going to take me on this one-day hike around JIUZHAIGOU Valley, the fourth valley here in JIUZHAI, and also the home of ecotourism here as well. So which route are we going to take?
So basically we have two options. The first one is 1 day hiking and camping, follow the river flow. And the other one is circle around the JIUZHAIGOU Holy Mountain, but here.
Oh, okay. How long is that going to take?
About 16 kilometers.
How many hours?
About 8 hours is up to your speed.
Okay, brilliant. Great, let's go. Wow, it's really nice and serene here. So is this path quite safe, or do we run the risk of being attacked by wild animals?
Yes, it is very safe here. You can only see some wild boars and porcupine here, but it is very safe because the animals is in the deep forest.
Oh, okay. Nice.
JIUZHAIGOU Valley was only open to the public in 2009, and hiking is still the best and only way to see it. Having a guide made for a much better experience, as Jay would often impart on me his wisdom about the flora and fauna here.
This plant is the wild cotton.
Oh, wow.
This is barberry, very tasty.
This is sea buckthorn, right?
Yeah, you know it. It's the king of vitamin C.
Oh, excellent. Watch out for the thorns.
Thank you.
You can only see what it's really like to live in JIUZHAIGOU by venturing deep into the mountains, so Jay's taking me to a part of the valley only visited by locals. This huge Chorten is worshipped by the followers of Bon. It was the animistic religion indigenous to Tibet, which has now been incorporated into Tibetan Buddhism. Most of JIUZHAIGOU's villages follow Bon, and this is one of their most important sites of worship. Every single family has a prayer flag planted here, which protects them from harm.
So, when the local pilgrims practice their Bon religion here, they will walk around this stupa 3 times anti-clockwise.
Okay. Do they chant mantras while walking around? Because I know in Buddhism they often chant the mantra of Om Mani Padme Hum. Is it the same here as well?
No, it is quite different. Here, their prayer words is made of 8 characters.
Okay.
Just like this. Om Mani Mizu Salendo.
Om Mani Mizu Salendo.
Yeah, that's right.
Om Mani
Mizu Salendo. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it really is quite different to Buddhism, though.
Yes. So this is the Roshi village.
Do they still live their traditional kind of life here as well?
Yes. Talking about this, I'd like to introduce a Tibetan family to you.
Okay, great.
This is my friend Tamo.
Ah, 你好。哎，你好。
你好，放到。
Oh, wow.
This one is the old building. You see here, very interesting.
Oh, what's that?
The devils. Yeah. The devils of the Bambonism.
So what is this for?
It is used to kill the devils and to keep the peace of their house.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, that's really cool. So this is really different to Buddhism than to traditional Tibetan Buddhism?
Yeah. It is very typical, only for the Bambonism, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bambo religion.
Can we go in and see what else?
You first.
Oh, jeez. So, what's this thing here?
Oh, it is a prayer stone. Yeah, each year the living Buddha over here will give their prayer words on that, and it is used to keep the peace of their family.
Oh, so this is quite similar to that outside.
Yeah,
it's a protective stone.
Yeah, different types.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really like this. They've got English. I finally can read.
Yeah. You see, it's a family museum here. Yeah.
Okay, look, can we go inside?
Yeah, please.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
A little dark.
Yeah, it's really dark in here, so watch your step. There's one right here, don't trip over. Oh, wow.
This is the living room of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is really nice. So this is a traditional Bon type Tibetan house.
Yeah. And that is a prayer room. Her uncle is a living Buddha of this area. Yeah.
您的舅舅是一个活佛啊？
以前是活佛。
Oh wow, that's really cool. It's really cool to have a living Buddha in the family. How many people can claim that in their lineage?
You think? So this is his prayer room.
Oh, it's a little dark in here.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got my torch here, so if you look at these paintings, wow.
Yeah.
Come. They've got all of these pictures of living Buddhas.
Yeah.
And what is that? That's a sacred kind of painting or something?
Yeah. This is this drummer was made by him.
Wow, he made it himself.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really. When do they actually use these drums? Let's see.
They will knock it every morning. Yeah, every morning he'll play here.
Am I allowed to give it a knock?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
I'm going to do my impression. That is pretty cool.
Even though we walked for what felt like an entire day, I'd still gladly repeat the trip if I had the chance. I've learnt so much from Jay, and I'm grateful to him for showing me a part of JIUZHAIGOU that hasn't been overrun by tourists, a part where the indigenous people and their unique traditions still remain.
So we've finally arrived at our campsite. I'm tired, I'm pretty hungry, but there's still one more thing to do before we rest, and that's our tent. Give me a hand, Jay. Whew. Just have to come here and give me a hand.
It's our third day here, and I've decided to check out what else JIUZHAIGOU County has to offer.
So we've seen the mountains and lakes of JIUZHAI, but it's also really worth visiting the villages close by to sample the local culture. And right now I'm here in Xiazhai village to try and get a taste of its lifestyle as well.
Xiazhai is about an hour's drive from the nature reserve. It's a Han Chinese village in an area that's predominantly Tibetan, and there are in fact quite a few of these little villages in JIUZHAIGOU, and they're a great place to stay for a while and relax. The local arts and crafts scene can often be quite unique, and you can always stay at one of the many rustic guest houses for a more authentic experience.
Oh, I can hear music. Oh, wow. Looks like the locals are putting on a show. Come.
They're singing Nanping folk songs, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that the performers are all local villagers and farmers. They'll sing just about anything, from recent events in town to old Chinese stories. For them, it's a way to unwind after a hard day's work and sing their troubles away. Our next stop is Wujiao village.
Oh, look at their clothes. I've come to Wujiao village around an hour's drive from JIUZHAIGOU County because I've been told that I can experience a very different kind of culture here, the white horse Tibetan culture.
White horse Tibetans, or Baima in Chinese, are quite different to normal Tibetans, and not just in the way they dress. They have their own form of animism that's not quite the same as Bon, although it shares the belief that spirits are everywhere in nature. One of their most important religious events is the Taogai, a kind of masked dance that can last for days and is used to ward off evil spirits. Traditionally, the Taogai was a strict ceremony held only every 3 years. Nowadays, they're mostly put on for tourists, but there's a lot of promotion as the dancers gather in the village square.
So if you look at these brightly decorated masks, each of them represents an animal, and I can see, I think that's a tiger, and then we've got a bull there, and some dragons behind, and the locals here worship nature, so at important festivals, they'll hold these kind of ritual dances to drive away evil spirits and protect their village. So you might think that this dance is nice and pretty, they've got these nice colourful costumes, but it's really tiring. And every single one of these guys are tall, strong, burly men. 您累不累啊？累不累？有点。我看你们都很累。您得跳多久一般？
一般的话，看从哪个场合。
就是能有几天，能有几个小时，都是。您一般是什么时候会跳这种舞？
一般是这个逢年过节，正月初2开始跳，到16。
跳到16，
元宵节就上了嘛。
哎，我能看一下您这个吗？哇 ，Look at this! This is amazing! Look how amazingly decorated this is. And this is quite a beautiful. 是老虎吧？狮子。Okay, so I was mistaken. This is actually a lion. And actually, now that I'm holding this cloth, it's completely soaked with sweat. And if I squeeze it, I could probably squeeze some sweat out as well. 哎呀，这真的很漂亮。这个是怎么讲啊？
这就是它是日月嘛。
日月。
这个代表这个代表我们白马民族的。
您允许我带一下这个？可以。好。So I'm going to give my impression, and 我可以拿一下您的这个。好。怎么跳？
Although it's now possible for tourists to organise a Taogai performance, the ritual still remains symbolic to the white horse Tibetans. It's a good example of how age-old tradition still survives in JIUZHAIGOU, and how this beautiful valley land continues to captivate people from around the world.
I've had an incredible time here in JIUZHAIGOU. The landscape, the people, the culture, everything here is so incredibly colourful. And when you come here, I highly suggest you take some time out and really get to know the other side of JIUZHAIGOU. I'm Taran. I've still got work to do, so I'll see you on the next episode of Travelogue.